now, we do have a just really chilly start to the day out there, and we are going to have some cool air around through the weekend. Quite the contrast from last weekend when we were in the 80s, back to back, average high temperature 83 degrees, and now we're talking about being about 30 degrees cooler as we head into this weekend with an average high temperature of 54 degrees. But the 50s are not all that uncommon for this time of year. The 80s were a little less common, but we, of course, we'll take the warmth. We do have right now some cold air in place, though, as we had yesterday's system come on through, and then with clear skies, light winds, temperatures have dropped down into the 30s, and for some of us, at or below that freezing mark, sitting at 31 in Cedar Rapids, 32 in Olwine. And after the last couple of mornings where we've been sitting in the 40s and 50s, this is going to feel pretty chilly. Maybe some areas of frost out there as well, and frost is something we may be dealing with for a couple of days. Temperatures this afternoon will climb up into the 50s, and we are going to have plenty of sunshine, but as the wind picks up, that's also going to be making it feel colder outside, and some gusts of around 30-35 miles per hour will be possible, and we are going to have that wind staying with us tonight. So as it stays breezy, we still will manage to drop down into the low 30s, and that will lead to the threat of freezing temperatures and damage to any cold sensitive crops. But we may not see frost every single time that we get down to these lower temperatures, but the potential is certainly still there to cause damage to some of those plants and flowers outside. Frost, though, requires not just the cool temperatures, but also clear skies, light winds, some moisture in the air and on the ground to lead to that formation. So tonight, with the wind staying elevated, that may lead to less of a widespread frost threat. Could still happen in some locations, but as we head into tomorrow night and then Sunday morning, we're looking at a higher chance of some frost area wide as temperatures drop down into some upper 20s. It's not unusual for us to still see freezing temperatures, as the average date for our last 32-degree low is April 25th. And when we look at frost, we're generally looking at 36 degrees or lower, and May 8th is the average date for the last 36-degree low temperature. So this is not unusual, and that's why I usually say to wait until at least mid-May to plant outside. We do have some cooler air in place behind yesterday's system, and we're under this northwesterly flow, which will lead to some cooler air for the weekend. Another system comes in next week, and will kind of hold us back. But as we head into the later part of next week, and especially just the end of April into May, we're seeing signs of some more warmth and above normal temperatures coming back into the picture. So today we are going to be in the 50s, sunshine but windy. We'll then have a pretty chilly day on Saturday, as we will be held close to 50, but 50s and 60s on the table for the next couple of days, and some of those nights we could have the freezing temperatures or some frost.